All right, today I'm reviewing a pair of these turnbuckles. So this brand is AOKOLL, and I have here their 3/8 inch and 1/2 inch turnbuckles. This guy's rated at 2,200 pounds, this guy's rated at 1,200 pounds. They're both 304 stainless. This guy here has 5 inches of adjustment. This guy here has 6 inches of adjustment. Total length here is about 1 foot and 9 inches when closed. All right, so these guys are threaded nicely. All of the hardware, moves and spins very easily. I have noticed that there's a bit of an angle here, so it's like they have the casting and then they threaded it at an angle, so it's coming out at just a slight angle. And both of those have one, like this one here has this one that's kind of at an angle. It still works fine, it goes in and out. It just means this thing's just at a slight angle when it's fully extended. Probably not going to matter, but that's just something to indicate that, hey, their threading machine there wasn't really perfect, or their quality control isn't 100% perfect there. Now these guys are marked 304. They have a right on the right hand side. This guy here has a 10, this has a 12 millimeter, which is probably the size of either the bolts or the nuts. Everything here looks to be mostly 304, so I have a super strong rare earth magnet and it's barely hitting this thing here that says 304. The nuts might be 316 because that magnet's not touching those nuts at all, it's not clicking at all. These little end pieces, however, do a little bit harder snap. It's a little harder than this 304, but not a whole bunch harder. Now, one thing, these pieces here, the pins, they snap quite hard on the small one, which is interesting because, so those pins snap hard. If I go to the big one, there's nothing there. That's like 316, maybe 304. These guys here snap a little bit harder. So the screws here are very much stainless steel. The ends that are welded onto them might be a different grade of stainless steel. So the parts have different magnetic attractions. So like these little pins here, or the rings holding the pins in, they're definitely stainless. There's no question about that. These guys feel like 304. These nuts are, non-reactive at all, so they're probably 316. But these end pieces have a significant more click than the 304 marked pieces here. And like those guys, that's a really hard connection there. It might be because it's a big flat piece that fully interacts with the magnet. But it also might be that there's some mixing of alloys here. And it could be that these guys are perfectly fine stainless, just not 316 or 304. But it's not obviously that it's all exactly the same alloy. And especially as I go around here, it has this little loopy thing where it kind of pulls that way. So it gets stronger as I get near this corner. I'm going to say it's probably stainless because it's advertised as stainless, and certain parts of it are definitely stainless. But there are variabilities in the amount of magnetic flux that I'm getting off of these parts. And stainless parts, especially 304, are a little bit magnetic. It's not like this guy here is definitely not magnetic at all. The magnet will barely hold itself up, and that's a very strong magnet. If you go to something that's really steel, that thing snaps and holds like nobody's business. So this magnet is extremely strong, extremely hard to pull off things. And here, that's super weak. The only thing where I get kind of a strong effect is that one. So if I had to guess anything, I'd say these pins here are the most likely thing to be steel as opposed to stainless steel. No good way for me to tell without a super expensive piece of equipment, for sure on that. But the majority of these parts are stainless steel.